it's really crucial that we start learning about insect form and function and physiology by first starting with the outer layer of insects. In primary school, you probably learned that most insects have this exoskeleton. This is, of course, not exclusive to insects. There are many arthropods and many other invertebrates with an exoskeleton because they lack an internalized skeleton, which we'll talk about in another video shortly. But I wanted to take the opportunity to give you a module overview and a quick revision of that outer layer and what we typically refer to as the cuticle, or in some cases, we also can call this the integument. And so if you see this cross section here of the cuticular layer, I think it goes without saying that there is a living zone or a living layer which is constantly secreting new cells and then pushing them slowly but surely upward into what is a now multi-layered, multi-function cuticle. In terms of taxonomy, the layer on the most outside of the insect is, of course, the epicuticle, which is just underneath the exocuticle. Then you've got this zone of endocuticle and a formation zone. Now, these layers become collectively known as the procuticle, but these layers are really, really crucial that you distinguish them because once we get to the module where we talk about the ways in which insects molt and some of the mechanisms that control the physiology of molting, you need to be able to go between the names of these layers quite smoothly. And I think while we're here in preparation for this module, it's really important also to see that this drawing includes some glandular cells shown in green over here. And this particular one, which is a class 3 gland, you'll learn that very, very soon, includes a reservoir where secretions can be made. You know, things like waxes are a good example that then get pushed out. And importantly, in this case, this is an example of a gland cell that has a physical connection from the epidermal layer here right through to the opening. But not all glands are built that way, and you'll be learning about that very soon. So in this module, you'll start off with that integument layer and go into it in quite a fair bit of detail. And importantly, I guess the main structural polysaccharide, which is chitin, and how that is unique in its ability to offer the insect both structure yet flexibility. Then, of course, needless to say, there needs to be some ways in which glands can operate within the insect's cuticular skeleton. So these two go hand in hand. And because of some limitations to body size caused by the lack of an internalized skeleton, but the presence of an external skeleton, there are, of course, implications based on how insects have evolved their respiratory and circulatory systems. So you might probably be familiar that insects have this sort of open branched network, the tracheal network for gaseous exchange to occur. And they also have an open circulatory system. So in this module, we're basically going to go through the relationship between the cuticular skeleton and how it affects the animal's ability to acquire oxygen and transport it all around its body. Needless to say, this is perhaps one of the most important, crucial functions to all forms of life, and that is the ability to get oxygen, and in doing so, allow for metabolic processes to occur. Enjoy the module.